Welcome to the Code Enforcement monthly board meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order and have a roll call.
Ms. Callis? Here.
Miss Callis,
Here.
Miss Calnan,
Here.
Miss Rudabaugh,
Here.
Miss Marsh, Miss Roby,
Here.
Mr. Gonzalez,
President,
and Mrs. Himes.
okay.
Excuse me, signs.
Okay, motion has been made and properly seconded to approve Ms. Hines' leave. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Oh, that's okay. Okay, so let's see, next on the agenda. Well, first let me share what our process is for those of you that are not familiar with it. We will be first hearing cases that have fines to be set. After that, we will hear cases that no fines would be set. That is just to explain whether you're in compliance or out of compliance. The process is the inspector will give a presentation of the issues in your case, and then you will have an opportunity to speak on your behalf. That's the process. It's simple, it's not complicated. Okay. So do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I got a couple things on case number 2 on page 4. It says it was, the board action said it was amended to October 1st, but I wrote down January, so I just want to make sure that I didn't write it down wrong or...
Okay, can you repeat that? I'm sorry, the case? Yeah.
Case number 2, CEB 02-25-32, Linwin Osborne Adams, 320 Garden Street. Everything was done except, I think, for the roof, and he said that they were going to do it, and I thought we gave him till January to come into compliance.
Yes, ma'am.
And it says October 1.
You're correct. I remember that as well.
And then on case number 4, on page 6, with the board action, it said that Mr. Gonzalez made the motion, and I wrote it down that Ms. Callis made it.
Which case again? I'm sorry.
Case number 4, CEB 08-25-153,
Okay.
with Deborah Eakin at 208 Bellevue Avenue.
Okay. So you said it was Miss.
Ms. Callis seconded the motion. Mr. Gonzalez made it.
Okay, got it. I see.
And then another thing I thought, when we talk to people that are here talking with these cases and it's not the owner, can we put on there who they are, like husband, or
Yes,
if they're the property manager or something?
Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
I write that down for my notes, but when you go back and read them,
Yeah.
Okay.
In addition, if a note can be made whether they had legal right to speak on behalf of the owner.
Okay.
that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
On that note, to the lawyers, shouldn't they provide, if it's not the person, somebody that they sent, shouldn't they have something in writing saying this person can represent me?
Ideal,
That would probably be the best, but this is sort of a loose proceeding, and sometimes it speeds things along if the board feels comfortable with
Right.
omitting those types of formalities.
Yeah, I don't think people know that they need to bring a note from their,
No, it's just a question.
And if I may ask, after each person makes their motion at the end, Mr. Gonzalez, would you say who motioned what?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And second it.
Okay. I 30.
Thank you.
Okay, so any other clarifications? No other clarifications? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from September 11th.
Do we have a second? What's your name again? Colleen. Thank you, Colleen, sorry. Okay, motion has been made by Ms. Roby, and seconded by Carlin? Carolyn. No, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Okay. Okay, has there been any ex parte communication?
Nope.
I would just like to add something to that. Typically, when we think of ex parte, we think of people talking, but it could also include if somebody got curious and decided to drive by the location of a violation. And the reason here is if, and it has apparently happened in the past in other places where someone, and that's what gives rise to this, is they go to the wrong place and they think they're seeing something and they're operating under an entirely different perspective than maybe what they should be. And so if anyone, this ex parte also includes if somebody drove by, and if you do, then that puts the respondent who's out there on notice that he could ask you questions like, what color was my house? Or something of that nature to try to cure that problem. So that, I also would note that most of the time the inspectors provide a number of pictures of the location. So there's really no need for anyone to go by and take a look for it on your own. But if you have, this is the time to disclose it.
Right. Yeah, most certainly. Also, I would like to point out that regarding the pictures, there's a couple of times we had pictures in which I did ask an inspector, how old is the picture? I said a year old. So, you know, we need current pictures. That's how we know what's going on with that property.
And typically, when you see that picture that's a year old, once they roll through their photos, you'll see updated pictures. So they show you the older photo, so you compare it to the most recent. So if you see an older photo, keep watching, you'll see a newer photo.
Right. Okay.
Before and after.
Yeah. Yeah, before and after is great. But in the case I'm pointing out, it was just an old picture. Okay, no ex parte communications. Any announcements?
Yes, sir. Page 2. Case number 1, CEB 05-25-96 will be via Zoom. Page 3. Case number 4, CEB 08-25-135 is also via Zoom. Page 4, case number 8, CEB 09-25-166, also via Zoom. Same page, case number 9, CEB 08-25-140, also via Zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Page 5, case number 12, CEB 09-25-161, 924 North Peninsula is in compliance as of October 6, 2025. Page 6, case number 17, CEB 09-25158, 601 Vera Land Trust, 601 Vera Street, also via Zoom. Page 7, case 22, CEB 10-25179, 1417 Florida Street is in compliance as of October 8th, 2025. And those are my announcements.
Okay, thank you very much. So, we have no liens.
I had one thing.
Yeah.
My name is spelled incorrectly on the agenda.
Did you catch that, Madam Secretary? She said her name was misspelled on the agenda. You sure it's the agenda or is it something else?
On the
So
front.
it's on the agenda on the front, under members,
Oh,
top.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
correct that.
Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, so case number 1 is CEB 052596 via Zoom, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
They have to be sworn in.
Oh, you gotta swear in the
Oh,
inspectors. Sorry about that.
do you swear or affirm the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Morning.
Yes, sir, good morning.
For 518 Cannon Street, the respondent was first notified of all the violations on January 13, 2025. Since the last hearing, I've had contact with the owner. The property is not occupied. There's been progress made, and the city's asking to amend to the next cutoff.
Oh, okay. Wasn't there before.
You gotta be sworn in.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Maybe we can't
Do
hear
we have a
you.
connection with that?
There we go, he's waving.
You can hear us, but you
Can't hear. Can't hear.
How about now?
oh,
Yes.
No?
Can you state your name and your address for the record, please?
I'm Alexander Contreras, and it's 518 Cannon Street.
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you,
My right hand.
do you swear or affirm the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank
Swear.
you. Thank you.
Okay, so we heard from the inspector, Mr. Garcia. Did you hear him? Sir, did you hear him?
It seems like there's a lag.
Something's wrong. Yeah.
Yes, I heard Inspector Garcia.
Okay, so do you have a
What I
response?
would like to do, basically everything has been addressed. I've been in constant contact with Mr. Inspector Garcia, and he pointed out a few other things that needed to be done, but a lot of minor things. Now, the window installation have been done. I need to turn in the paperwork for the final inspection, and I think that should be it. I do need to fix the fence that separates one of the properties that it's fallen towards the back, but that's a minor repair, and I think that's pretty much everything that was left to be done.
Okay, so Mr. Garcia has recommended that you be given an extension for 30 days?
That's correct,
That it?
just to get the final done
Right.
and repair the fence.
Okay, do you think you can get it done then?
I believe so, and if not, then I'll have to hop in the next Zoom meeting, but I don't see it being past 2 weeks from now, but You know, I
Okay.
guess I'm at the mercy of the city and the inspector. Whether it passes inspection, there could be a few punch-out items, you know?
Okay, so do we have a motion?
I have a question. It's a personal property, it's not a rental, right?
It is not a rental.
Then I would make a motion to amend the order of noncompliance. Hereby order the previous order of noncompliance in case number CEB 0525-96 for Alexander Cantaris at 518 Cannon Street be amended to allow the respondent, Mr. Alexander Cantaris, to bring the property in compliance or be returned to a proceeding before the cutoff date of 11/5/25 for consideration of the fine up to $1,000 per day.
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh? Okay, is there any other more discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion was made by Ms. Callis and seconded by Ms. Marsh. Okay, so we move on to the next case. Case number 2, CEB 0425-79, Gary E. Hope.
Good morning, Mark Jones, supervisor with Code Compliance. My credentials are on file. This respondent was first notified on December 12th, 2024. Since the last hearing, my inspector has had numerous conversations with the property owner, and the property is occupied. Since the last hearing, as you can see, that was the building that he had to demo. He did that without a permit, then had to get an after-the-fact permit, which has been approved and finalized. Now, he has to get a permit for closing in the wall that the building was adjacent to. We'd like to ask to amend to the January cutoff. He is in the process of getting the permit, and that gives him time to get the work completed.
Okay, is there any discussion on this issue?
He was trying to get these people evicted. Is these
Yes, that
new
is.
people or?
No, my understanding is he is now living there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right. I'll make a motion. Hereby order the previous order of noncompliance in case number CEB 04-25-79 be amended to allow the respondent, Gary Holt, to bring the property into compliance or be returned to a proceeding before the Code Enforcement Board on cutoff date of 1/8/26 for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day.
I second that motion.
Okay, what's your last name again? Right.
Actually, the cutoff date will be December 31st.
Oh, okay. So the meeting's the 8th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so a motion has been made to provide an extension to our next meeting, to amend to our next meeting. Made by Ms. Roby, seconded by Ms. Radamore. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? No opposed.
Just to clarify, that is the December 31st cutoff for the January hearing.
Okay.
Will there be a meeting in November?
No,
No.
Yeah.
there is a meeting in November, but I'm asking for it to go to
Not
the
in December.
January.
There's no meeting in December, right?
Right. The next meeting would be the one in
January.
November,
Right.
and this is being extended actually to the meeting in January.
Correct.
The cutoff date before the meeting in January.
Okay, just to be clear, so it's being amended till January.
Correct.
Okay. All right, next case, number 3. CEB,
The motion and second.
yeah, it was made by Ms. Roby and seconded by Ms. Radamore.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Did you guys vote?
Yeah, we voted. Okay, we ready for the next case?
Yes, sir.
Number 3, CBO 721-223 Tracy Smith. Ms. Kirk.
Okay. Good morning, Sarah Kirk,
morning.
Inspector with the city. My credentials are on file. First notification was 8/4/2020. This is a returning case. Ms. Smith has been on the waiting list with the city since June 17th of 2019. I've recently spoken with Mr. Orrender in redevelopment, and he stated that she is on the verge of being selected for her rehab request. Staff is recommending to amend the case to the January cutoff.
Okay, any questions? Discussion? Motion?
I'll make a motion. I hereby order the previous non-compliance in case number CEB 07-21-223 be amended to allow the respondent Tracy Smith to bring the property into compliance and be returned to a proceeding before the Code Enforcement Board on 12/31/25 for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day.
Second.
Second by Ms. Marsh. Motion was made by Ms. Roby, seconded by Ms. Marsh, to amend to the January cutoff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next case. It's a Zoom case. Case number 4, CEB 0825-135, 53 Nave LLC, 830 Berkshire Road.
That was
We
on, is
we
not
don't have a
here
respondent.
virtually.
What was that?
We don't have a respondent on Zoom.
They're not here virtually, so if they're not here in person, you may proceed as you see fit.
Oh, they're not present on
Correct,
Zoom?
they are not in the Zoom meeting.
Okay.
Oh, they're not? Okay. Well, we can move forward, right? Lawyers? Yeah, all right, let's move forward. Okay, Mr. Roosevelt. Mr.
Good morning,
Butler.
Inspector Roosevelt Butler, credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. As it pertains to 830 Berkshire Road, the respondent was first notified on May 29, 2025. Since last month, court proceeding, I've had contact with the owner, whom have met with the city on September the 16th, and now he's awaiting the results from the city to see if the property can come out of condemnation. Staff requests them into the next cutoff.
Okay, any questions or discussion?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. You said he's waiting the city to,
There's a meeting on September the 16th. Now he's waiting on the results of the meeting to see if the property can be removed from condemnation and he can move forward with the project.
Is this Lucy?
I'm sorry.
Is this Lucy, the owner? Is that her name?
No.
Okay.
No. This is Ezra.
Okay.
So I have a question. When a property goes into condemnation like that, they don't have to clean up any of the junk out front or keep the lawn mowed or anything like that? They just basically abandon it until they
That's
get-
the old picture.
Okay.
Look at the most recent picture that I have. As you can see, he's keeping it up.
Okay.
I had a condemnation meeting, question also. Does the staff attend those meetings? What a ca-
It goes through permits and licensing.
Okay. Okay. So, board, what is your desire in this case?
what was his recommendation?
To amend to the next cutoff to see what the results.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to amend order of noncompliance in case number CEB 0825-135, 53 Nave the 830 Berkshire Road be amended to allow the respondent Nave LLC, 53 Nave LLC, to bring the property in compliance or be returned to a proceeding before the, 10/5 cutoff, 11/5 cutoff, or for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day.
Did you ask for, I'm sorry, did you ask for January or next?
The next cutoff.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, motion had been made by Ms. Callis to amend the case to our next meeting, seconded by Ms. Radabach. All those in favor?
Aye.
Or any opposed? Okay. Case number 5, CEB 08-25-137, April Prunty at 1605 North Patrick Circle. Mr. Butler again.
As it pertains to 1605 North Patrick Circle, the respondent was first notified on May 29, 2025. Since last month's court proceeding, I've had no contact with the property owner, and there has been no progress. Staff requests $100 a day to a maximum of $15,000.
Do you have any pictures?
Are there any pictures of this property?
Yes, it should be in. There is. Absolutely.
And is it vacant or occupied?
It is vacant.
Vacant, thank you. I'll make the motion. I hereby find that in case number CEB 08-25-137, that the respondent, April Prunty, who previously was found in noncompliance, remains in noncompliance and therefore order a fine in the amount of $100 per day to commence on October 9th, 2025, where the property is brought, or thereafter, and to continue each day until the fine has reached the amount of $10,000 or the property is brought into compliance.
I believe he asked 15,000.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to amend mine
15,000.
to 15,000.
I second.
I'll second. Last name again, please?
Callahan.
Callahan. All right, Callahan. Okay, motion made by Ms. Roby to amend to the next cutoff, not to amend to the next cutoff, but to levy a fine of $100 a day, up to 15,000. Is that starting today? Starting today, and seconded by Ms. Callahan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Moving on to the next case. Number 6, CEB 0825-134, Leonard Blasso at 111 Nathan Hale Court. Tom Click.
Good morning, Officer Clegg. My credentials are on file. As it pertains to 111 Nathan Hale, they were first notified on June 23rd of 2025. Since the last hearing, I've had contact with the occupant. The property is occupied. No work has been done. Staff's recommending a fine of $100 a day fine to a cap of $10,000.
Is it owner occupied?
Yes, ma'am.
Any more questions or discussion? How about a motion?
I'll make a motion. I hereby find that case number CV 08-25134, Leonard Blasso, the respondent who was previously found in non-compliance, and therefore order a fine in the amount of $100 per day to commence on 10/9 and to continue thereafter until the fine has reached the amount of $10,000 or the property is brought into compliance.
Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Ms. Marsh? Motion has been made to levy, was it $100 a day until they come into compliance? Made by Ms. Callahan, second by Ms. Marsh. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next case, number 7.
As it pertains to 627 Fremont, they were first...
Mr. Clegg, Mr. Gonzalez has to read the
I'm sorry.
case, so it's
Won't
a
happen again.
formality. There may be someone present.
Oh, right, right. Okay, is anybody present for this case?
We have to read the case.
Okay. Case number 7, CEB 0925-165, Charlene Thurman at 5627 Fremont Avenue. Mr. Clay.
As it pertains to 627 Fremont, first notified July 22nd of 2025. Since the last hearing, I had no contact with the owner. The property is not occupied. No progress has been made. Staff's recommending a fine of $100 a day, capped to $15,000.
Are there any questions or discussion? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion. I hereby find that in case number CEV 0925-165, Charlene Thurman, who was previously found in noncompliance, remains in noncompliance, and therefore order a fine in the amount of $100 per day to commence on 10/9/2025 and to continue each day thereafter until the fine has reached the amount of $15,000 or the property is brought into compliance.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Marsh, second by Ms. Roby, levying a $100 a day fine until they come into compliance up to $15,000. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Case number 8, CEB 09-25-166, Naomi Lopez at 101 North Paul Revere Drive. It's supposed to be a Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Okay.
There she goes.
Hi, good morning. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Good morning.
Okay, sorry. It's because I'm at work and technically we're not allowed to be on Zoom. So I apologize for this.
Oh, no problem.
She will need to be sworn in.
Can you say your name and address for the record, please?
Noemi Lopez, 101 North Paul Revere Drive.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
101 North Paul Revere Court was first notified on July 23rd of 2025. Since the last meeting, I've had contact with the owner. The property is occupied. No progress has been made. Staff's recommending a fine of $100 a day, capped to $15,000.
Okay, Ms. Lopez, what is your response?
So pretty much I completely understand I am not in compliance due to my funds being really tight. So I'm trying to get, I was gonna fix the fence on my own, but when I try to go get the permit, turns out that if I do that, I have to reside in a house for a year, or I can't sell it or rent it for a year. And with my new job that I just got like about a month ago, I've been commuting for like an hour and a half. And my goal was to sell that house after being in compliance. But now it turns out that I can't do that. So I have to hire a contractor, which means I need to pay them. And I just requesting for an extension so I could get them to do the work properly and safely so that I could be compliant and have the property back to code. I am not trying to avoid responsibility. I just need more time.
The landscaping can be done, I mean, if you're not living in the house, you can have your tenants.
I'm sorry, the guy came by yesterday for
To
the
do
weeding in the back.
landscaping.
Yeah, the garden, yeah.
And the pool, are the tenants responsible for the pool, or is it included in their rent?
So I'm sorry. So the pool had a leak that I just fixed, and it was like $3,000. So now I have to wait till I get paid to get the pool, the company to come and do the chemical balancing and all that.
If I can make a comment, first of all, there's no tenant. She is owner occupied property. So therefore, number one, I need to amend the fine of $100 a day cap to $10,000. And this property was opened up in end of December, and nothing's been done. I didn't actually file it till July 23rd, but I've been trying to work with people. Nothing was done. So now she has an issue. She came to the office yesterday, and I told her I would suggest getting a contractor instead of she didn't want to wait for a year to, you know, sell the house or whatever. So, but the property is owner occupied right now. There's no tenants in there.
Any other questions?
I was just saying, do you feel that you could get this done in 30 days?
Probably not. Maybe by December, just in case, because like I said, I need money. So I'm barely gonna get my next check next week. I have to pay my bills, and then I'll cook. I need to save enough for like a down payment is what I'm asking for. And I'm hoping to get the fence worked on by maybe beginning of November, which would be around this time, because I still need to fix the pool as well. And then I'm also go on work travel. So I'm in Oklahoma. I go back and forth. So I'm not here 30% of the time.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
You said you had to save money for a down payment. A down payment for what exactly?
To get a loan with financing with the fencing contractors.
Okay.
You said 17 contractors?
No, like so I could hire a fencing company
Oh, I'm
and
sorry. That was my
finance that.
Have you already obtained the bids for the fencing?
Well, like I said, I was gonna do it myself with people that I know, which I needed the permit for, and it just came to I just found out that by state, if I do that, I have to be in the house for a year, which now I have to get rid of the material I got, or see if a fencing company could use my material. They could pull the permit out, do the work, and I'm still in code with the state that it's done properly.
I believe the question.
Now I'm back to, I was gonna do it on my own, but now I'm back to square one where I have to go hire a contractor, which I was gonna do calls today or send emails today during work and when I get home.
I believe the question was, did you get an estimate yet?
No, because I'm saying I was gonna do that today.
Okay.
Because I was gonna do it on my own.
That's all we wanted to know.
Yeah, sorry.
Any more questions? Discussion?
Like I just graduated school. I'm really trying. Like I'm really trying. I need time.
Okay, the board is gonna make a decision now. Is there a motion?
I mean, I'm kind of torn in the middle. We've given others a little bit more time, even though this has been going on since December.
If I could just make one last comment, I've been getting numerous calls and complaints from them, not only the HOA, but they live in a cul-de-sac type area in Georgetown. And there's people out there trying to sell their homes, and the fence is not only an eyesore, but it was dilapidated to the parts where it was falling down. There's a pool there, and I have to go by there every other day, make sure that fence is up, so.
And the pool was exposed. I went out with Inspector Clegg, and the pool was exposed. We spoke to the gentleman that was at the house and telling him how important it was to keep that pool secured. So it is a safety issue as well.
It is, okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Is the pool still exposed?
The fence, the pallet of the fence they put back up, but it's not, with high winds, it's not gonna, the stockade type fence ain't gonna last.
My recollection is that's not only serious, it could be a felony by statute.
I
It is really
explained that to
serious.
them too, and not only that, for civil, legitimate case if something happens, and my problem's been is nothing's been done. They never signed for the violation letter. It had to be posted. So again, like I said, not only the neighborhood, but the HOA, and then there's definitely kids in the area, Halloween coming up, so we're.
Okay. I'll go ahead and make a motion. Hereby find that in case number CEB 09-25-166, that the respondent Naomi Lopez, who previously was found in noncompliance, remains in noncompliance, and therefore a fine of $100 a day to commence on October 9th, 2025, and continue each day thereafter until the fine has reached the amount of $10,000 or the property has been brought into compliance.
Second.
Okay, a motion has been made by Ms. Roby, second by Ms. Marsh, to levy a $100 a day fine until they come into compliance in the case of CEB 09-25-166, Naomi Lopez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Did you understand that, Ms.?
Okay, so if I have to pay this fine and I literally have negative dollars in my account, how
Okay, that's not my question.
can I pay this?
I'm
How can
sorry,
I
but
pay
that's not my
this?
question. My question is, did you understand what just happened, the motion and the vote?
So,
It's just you guys are pushing me back to
Did you
to fix this.
understand? Okay, you understood it then, right?
So-
Can you?
Okay.
do you mind? Yeah, I'm going to explain. So, ma'am, I just want to explain the procedure here. You don't need to pay this fine today. This is a lien on your property. It goes on your property. If you ever sell in the future, that has to come out of the proceeds of that sale in some way. You pay it, you can pay it, you could pay it now, you have that option, but you don't have to. It becomes a lien on your property. In addition, let's say you come into, hypothetically, right? Let's say you come in, I'm not giving you legal advice, I'm saying procedurally, if you do come in compliance, you work with the code inspector, you could apply to get a lien review, meaning you could petition the board to hear your case again and remove that lien. But this is all contingent on your compliance. You can't request a lien review until you come into compliance. My suggestion is to work with the code inspector during this process and resolve it as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you. That's more than he has told me, so that's very, very. I'm first-time homeowner, just moved here, so I was not aware of how this goes by. So thank you for that.
Of course.
Good, glad you understand. Let's move on. Case number 9, CEB 08-25-140, Karen and Sleeman Zakib at 398 Gulf Boulevard. It's supposed to be a Zoom.
Can you state your name for the record?
Hello, Slyman Zaghi.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Stinson.
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector. Applications are on file with the city. This respondent was first notified on 12 April 2025. Since then, there have been multiple re-inspections. The property is no longer occupied. I have been in contact with the property owner and the property manager. There is being progress made. Permits have been pulled. There are quite a few issues that have already been resolved. He is still working to rebuild the deck in the backyard for the back door, and they have some minor things to be done on the inside. City would recommend that we amend this to the November cutoff.
Okay, we'll hear from the respondent now. Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yes, do you have a response?
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. My contractor's on site currently we basically have the flooring, the closet doors and the deck. They are all, the flooring is actually being leveled today. We are also doing a shower renovation, and that is in permit as well. Permits took a while. When I was there 8/14, it's taken us about 5 weeks to get architectural drawings and everything, but we look like we are on track to have all work that is still open, those 3 items, within about a month timeframe. So I feel hopefully we'll be able to reconcile that within that timeframe for you.
Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Stinson, you feel that we need to amend it to the next cutoff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions or discussion?
I'll make a motion. I hereby order the previous order of noncompliance in case number CEB 0825140 be amended to allow Karen and Sleeman Zayib at 398 Gulf Boulevard to bring the property into compliance or be returned to a proceeding before Code Enforcement Board on November 5th, the next cutoff, which is November 5th, 2025, for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Morris, second by Ms. Roby, to amend the order to the next cutoff with $100 a day to start at that point if they're not in compliance. There, the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, motion carries. Case number 10, CEB 0925-159. Oh, that's the one we just did.
No,
No.
no,
No,
that's
oh, we
right.
did exactly, okay.
You're on the right one.
Okay, CEB 09-25-159, Chandra Carrera at 802 North Halifax Avenue. Mr. Stinson. I'm sorry, is anybody here for this case? No. Sorry.
That's okay. This respondent was first notified on 8 April 2024. Since then, my last visit to the property was on October 8th, 2025. The property remains in noncompliance for all cited violations. There has been no contact with the property owner. The property is occupied, and there has been zero progress on the property. City is recommending the imposition of a fine of $300 a day to be capped at $10,000.
And we do know it's owner occupied?
Yes.
It's like 300 a day.
3, yes.
I'll make the motion. I hereby find that in case number CEB 09-25-159, that the respondent Chandra Carrera, who was previously found in noncompliance, remains in noncompliance, and therefore order a fine in the amount of $300 per day to commence on 10/9/25 and continue each day until the fine has reached the amount of $10,000 or the property is brought into compliance.
I second.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Roby to levy a fine, well, to amend the next cutoff, then levy a fine of $300.
No cutoff, just.
Oh, no cutoff, okay. No cutoff date, so to levy a fine of $300 until they come into compliance. It was seconded by Ms.
Round up to 10,000,
Redlock.
right?
Okay.
To 10,000.
To
Effective
10,000.
today.
And so, okay, the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case number 11, CEB 09-25-160, Alan and Deborah Bukowski at 420 Gulf Boulevard. Mr. Stinson.
This respondent was first notified on 17 June 2025. There has been no contact. This is an owner-occupied property, and there has been zero progress on the property. City is recommending the imposition of a fine of $500 per day to be capped at $10,000.
Jeez. Okay.
Mr. Gonzalez, you might want to ask again if there's anyone present on behalf of the
Okay, is
respondent.
anyone present regarding this case, to represent this case? No? Okay. All right, so the city's made its recommendation.
Okay, I'll make a fine order. I hereby find that in case number CEB 0925160, that the respondent Alan and Deborah Bukowski, who were previously found in noncompliance, remain in noncompliance, therefore a fine in the amount of $500 per day, initiated today, 10/9/25, with a cap of $10,000.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, Ms. Callan.
Calvin.
A motion has been made by Ms. Callis to impose a $500 a day fine starting today until they come into compliance. Second by Ms. Callahan.
Calvin.
Oh, Calvin. I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
Spell that, please.
CALNAN.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, case number 12, CEB 09-25-161, Wayne E. Schmidt at 924 Peninsula Drive. Oh, that was, came into compliance on the 6th. Okay, case number 13, CEB 09-25-162, Todd A. Bizarano at 306 Riverview Boulevard. That would be Mr. Stinson. Anybody here present on this case? No? Okay, Mr. Stinson.
This respondent was first notified on 29 May 2025. Since then, there has been one contact which came yesterday. Property is occupied, however, there's been no progress on correcting any of the violations. City would like to recommend imposition of a fine of $200 per day to be capped at $10,000.
You say 200, John?
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we hereby find that in case number CEB 09-25-162, that the respondent Todd Calzanera, who was previously found in non-compliant and remains in non-compliant, and therefore order a fine in the amount of $200 per day to commence on 10/9 and to continue each day thereafter till the fine has reached the amount of $10,000 where the property is brought into compliance.
Second.
Okay. Okay, motion has been made in the case of CEB 09-25-162 to impose a $200 a day fine, capped at 10,000, is it?
Yes.
Okay, capped at 10,000. The motion was made by Ms. Rodenbaugh? Radabach. And it was seconded by Ms. Calnan. Calnan?
Calnan.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next case, number 14, CEB 0325-60, Janice Hoover Estate at 365 Woodland Avenue. Mr. Stinson, and is there anybody present to represent this property? No? Okay.
This respondent was first notified on January 9, 2025. obviously, Ms. Hoover's deceased. I have been in contact with her daughter, Janice Barclay. They have finally gotten through the probate. They finally gotten through the probate. She has been issued permits to repair this, and I would like to amend this case to the December cutoff. I'm sorry, the January cutoff.
I'll make a motion. I hereby order the previous order of noncompliance in case number CEB 03-25-60 be amended to allow the respondent, the Janice Hoover estate, to bring the property into compliance or be returned to the proceeding before the Code Enforcement Board on 12/31/25 for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 a day.
Second.
Okay.
Put it in the file. Thanks.
All right, motion has been made by Ms. Roby to amend this case to our January cutoff. That was seconded by Ms. Marsh. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Case number.
I would like to make, regarding this case, I would like to request to admit this into the record. It is a petition for administration regarding probate that just tells us where the case is. I only have one copy. I was going to give it to the secretary, but if the board would like to see a copy first.
Okay. So, do we need a motion for this?
I guess a motion
Yeah,
to
would
publish
be-
on the record,
Okay.
the record that she is, what's the daughter's name again?
The administrator?
Janice Barclay.
Janice Barkley, that she's the administrator of her estate. That way, when she comes, we know she has authority to speak on behalf of the estate.
I'm good, I don't need to see it. Then you guys want to see it?
I don't need to see it.
No? You want to see it?
No.
Okay.
I have a court system.
Okay, so we do need a motion to accept this petition.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Okay, motion was made to accept the petition filed on behalf of Janice Hoover Estate. Motion by Ms. March, second by Ms. Roby. So moved. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Case number 15, CB 07-25-117, Robert Schulter Estate. Doris Taylor, Deborah Torrance, Ronald Ankrum, Linda Hart, Andrew Lee, Dolores Gibson, Matthew Riggins, and Betty Lou Smith Estate at 418 North Lincoln Street. And that would be Ms. Itani and Sarah?
My name is Ronald Gibson, Dolores Gibson's husband.
Okay.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Inspector Itani, Code Compliance, credentials are on file. Respondent was first notified October 24th, 2024. Sorry, October 23rd, 2024. Since the September hearing, I have had contact with the owner, and there has been progress. Last inspection was October 1st, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. Staff recommends we amend to the next cutoff.
Yes, sir. Would you like to say something?
Yes, I think I've addressed all the issues that was wrong with this property. And I can't, I think it should be amended. We've done everything they asked us to do. Place the roof. In compliance, what happened with the roof, it hasn't passed inspection because they moved, the roofer removed the header in front of a beam in front of on the house. And I don't think he realized that he needed a permit to do that. They said, the inspector said he needed a permit to remove that beam. But he's done everything. He's contacted a contractor. He's getting in the process of getting has gotten a permit to have this thing rectified. My thing is I've done everything on this thing that we're supposed to do. and it's not my fault that, you know, it was done wrong. So what more do I need to do to get this taken care of?
Right, well, you get with the inspector, and the inspector will walk you through what needs to be done, correct?
Yes, the only thing that needs to be done is that roof needs to be finalized. So we have to go through the steps until it's finalized with the permitting licensing department.
So it's in the permit office downstairs right now?
Yes.
And do
Well,
you think 30 days, I mean, you think he'll have it done, the permit will be issued?
Well, I haven't seen the permit for the additional work that was done. I haven't seen that come in to the permitting licensing department yet. He was saying that his company has to get with an engineer to get that done. So we haven't seen that part yet.
Okay, I'd like to extend it out till the January meeting then, because he's clearly done everything else.
Okay.
So, I'll make the motion.
Before you make the motion, apologies, I just want to clarify so he understands what we're saying.
Okay.
When you previously said, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you had a problem with the word amend, that we're amending it back. What that means is we're amending your compliance date, the date that you have to have this in compliance. We're pushing it out. I believe now they're going to make a motion. They'll tell you how many, but they're pushing it back so you have more time. You're not being fined today. We're just here to say whether you were in compliance or not, and now they're pushing back that date that you have to become compliant, if that makes sense. Do you understand what's happening?
I understand that, but I'm not in compliance. It's not my job. I paid to have the roof done. You know, I done what was asked for me to do. The roofer hasn't done what he's supposed to do.
Correct,
So-
but it's your property.
Yeah, I understand.
So
Okay.
that's why we gotta, I know it doesn't seem fair, but hopefully if you think it's in permits now, it'll get through and they work in December. We don't have a meeting in December, so you'll get that extra month too. So
Okay.
I'll make the motion to amend the order of noncompliance in case number CEB 07-25-117 be amended to allow the respondent of Robert Schulter Estate, Dolores Taylor, Deborah Torrance, Ronald Ann Cron, Linda Hart, Andrea Lee, Dolores Gibson, Matthew Riggins, and Betty Lou Smith Estate to bring the property into compliance or be returned to the proceedings of the Code Enforcement Board on 12/31/25 for consideration up to a fine of $1,000 per day.
A second.
You okay?
I-
Motion, yes, you gonna say
Oh,
something?
no.
Motion made by Ms. Roby and seconded by Ms. Radabaugh? To amend the case to December 31st, at which time we'll return to the meeting and either levy a fine or have further discussion on it.
You actually technically hear it in January, but the gentleman there, they have until December 31st to bring it into compliance.
Your roofer.
Oh, okay.
Till our January meeting,
Okay.
okay? You understood what happened?
I really don't.
I didn't ask you if you agreed or not, I just.
So it's the roofer problem.
All right, let me finish this part.
I don't understand because
Let me finish, I'll give you a second. Let me finish this part because we got to take a vote. So all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, go ahead, sir. I want you to have your say.
Oh, I want to know what do I need to do to alleviate this problem?
Stay on that roofer.
Oh, so once he passed the inspection, I'll be
Then when they
I'll
finally,
be in
you'll be
compliance.
done. You won't have to come back and see us.
okay.
All right,
Just get with her.
I'll
She'll
talk.
tell you.
All right. Thank you.
okay, you're welcome. Okay, next case.
Thank you very much.
CB 06-25-103 William Warren Thompson Jr. at 307 Garden Street. Ms. Atani, anybody
We have
present?
a gentleman coming up.
Yes, sir, she's got to swear you in.
Your name, sir, for the record?
William Thompson.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Respondent was first notified August 23rd, 2024. Since September hearing, I have had contact with the owner, and there has been progress. He was just approved for the Transform 360, so they're going to be redoing what he's in non-compliance for. Last inspection was October 6th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. Staff recommends we amend to the February cutoff to give time for Transform 360 to go and do what they need to do.
Okay.
Do we have a date for?
I turned in a copy of the approval letter. Oh,
Okay. Well, let's hear from him too.
Oh.
See what he's got to say.
if, okay. Did you want to say anything?
Did you
No,
want to say
except
anything,
for,
sir?
you know, I applied and I was approved. You know,
Congratulations.
to Transform
Yeah,
3,
congratulations.
yes.
They were very simple.
Yes, I'm happy about that.
Good.
So I hope now that, you know, all the work, you know, whatever they decide to do, you know, because, you know, everything's left up to them now. So, but everything I needed to do, I've done.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, she's put, okay. So
Well,
we
I'm
make a,
glad we got this because we brought this subject up before about people bringing notices, and so this is solid. You know, so thank you for getting it.
we motion to publish that in the record.
Oh, okay. We also need to publish this to the record. So let's get we got two motions. Let's make the motion on the case first. The recommendation was
February cutoff.
February cutoff.
February 4th?
I'll make a motion. In the case of CEB 0625103, they'd be allowed to allow the respondent, Mr. William Thompson, to bring the property in compliance and be returned to proceeding before February 4th, 2026, or return to the court before the code enforcement meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 a day.
Do we have a second?
Second.
So
Okay.
the cutoff's the 4th or the meeting's cutoff?
So a motion has been made by Ms. Callis, second by Ms. Marsh, in the case of CEB 06-25-103, William Warren Thompson at 307 Garden Street, to amend the case until February cutoff, February 4th. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, sir.
You did a
Thank you.
motion on that to
Okay,
publish that.
yeah, I'm going next on this. So we need a motion on an income eligibility notification on behalf of Mr. Thompson, with city, well, there's a notification of acceptance of the eligibility for work to be done on this house. So do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
Have a motion to approve the notice, or to publish the notice in the record of this matter. Would that be correct, Ms. Roby?
Yes, sir.
Motion to publish, Ms. Roby. Second,
Aye.
Ms. Calnan?
Yep.
Second by Ms. Calnan to provide this notice to be published. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next case. It's a Zoom case. Case 17, CEB 09-25-158, Commonwealth Trust Services, LLC, TR 601, Veriland Trust, 601 Fair Street. Ms. Itani.
Will you state your name for the record, sir?
Ricardo Adamas.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
Thank you. And your relationship to this case?
I'm the owner.
Thank you.
What's his last name? I'm sorry.
Adamas.
Adams. Thank you.
Okay.
Respondent was first notified June 14th, 2025. Since the September hearing, I have had contact with the owner, and he requested he said that he was going through the eviction process with the tenants and requested more time for the process. Last inspection was October 6, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. SAC recommends we amend to the next cutoff.
Yes, sir, we'll hear from you now.
Yes, so hopefully in the next 2 weeks, eviction process should be wrapped up. Working with an eviction attorney there. At that point, I'll be able to take possession of the property back and clean it up. So I'm hoping in the next 2 or 3 weeks we'll have this cleaned and wrapped up.
Okay. All right. So do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I hereby order the previous order of noncompliance in case number CEB 0925158, Commonwealth Trust Services LLC TR 601 Vera Land Trust be amended to allow the respondent at 601 Vera Street to bring the property into compliance or be returned to a proceeding before the Code Enforcement Board on the next cutoff, which is November 5th, 2025, for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Marsh, second by Ms. Roby, in case 17, CEB 09-25-158 Commonwealth Trust Services LLC, TR 601 Vera Land Trust at 601 Vera Street to amend to our next cutoff date, which is
11/5.
11 November 5th. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Did you understand what happened, sir?
Yep.
Okay.
I agree. Thank you.
All righty. Next case, 18, CEB 09-25-172, Ahmed D. Crum at 533 North Keith Street. That would be Ms. Itani. Is anybody present? Yes, right there. Okay. And sir, you need to be sworn in. And is she going to speak also?
Yes.
Okay, then she needs to be sworn in.
Your names first, please.
Ahmed Crum.
Okay, your name, ma'am?
Susan Crowe.
Do you both raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll hear from Ms. Itani first, then we'll give you a chance to respond.
Respondent was first notified August 6, 2025. Since the September hearing, I have had contact with the owner, and there's been progress. The plumbing permit has been finalized, and we're just now waiting for the concrete permit to be finalized. Last inspection was October 1st, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. SAC recommends we amend to the next cutoff. The permit is under review. On October 21st, they should know something by then.
Okay, yes, sir.
We're just waiting for the concrete permit to get through, and hopefully this whole thing could just be gone.
Right.
Do you have
And-
somebody lined up, and as far as concrete company, like?
We have someone in line to do all
Okay,
the work.
great.
We just need the
We
permit.
just need the permit.
Okay.
For the concrete.
Because I was wondering if the 30 days was gonna be enough for you, so you don't have to make.
Yeah.
The contractor pulled the permit.
Okay, so it should be done.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that,
Well, I want to hear if she had
Just,
anything else to say. Do you have anything else to
They
say?
said they're gonna put it with, an after the fact, permit, so I didn't know how long that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just,
Okay.
just for the record, you're the owner, Mr. Crum?
I'm the owner.
Yes. What's your relation to the property, just for the record?
I'm his mother, but I'm acting property manager.
Okay.
Okay, motion.
Okay. I hereby order the previous order of noncompliance in case number CEB 09-25-172 to be amended to allow the respondent Ahmad Crum, to allow the respondent Ahmad Crum to bring the property in compliance or be returned to a proceeding before the Code Enforcement Board on 11/5 for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 a day.
I second.
Okay. Oop, go back to this. Right about. Okay, motion has been made by Ms. Roby, second by Ms. Radibile? Radibile. To amend in the case of, to our next meeting, 11/5, for a fine to start at that time of, how much you said?
$1,000.
$1,000 a day?
Yeah, up to.
Up to.
If he doesn't come out of
Right,
compliance.
okay. Up to $1,000 a day if not into compliance. In this case of CEB 6925-172, Ahmad D. Crum at 533 North Keith Street. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
You understand?
No fine.
You understand?
Thought it was gonna be the 9th.
She doesn't understand what you said.
No, okay.
He is at the 5th.
Yeah.
Well, can you explain it to her?
You
Yeah,
got, okay.
All right, case number 19, CEB 1025-7178, J. Brown, Maxwell, Vivian M. Brown, Thea Watson, and Richard Thomas at 425 Maple Street. Sarah Kirk, is anybody present for this case? No. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. This is a field-generated case that I opened July of 2025 for unsecured, unsanitary, vacant structure, damaged fence, broken windows, inadequate address numbers, trash and debris. First notification was 7/9 of 2025. Compliance due 8/9 2025. I inspected the property yesterday, October 8th, and the property was still in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Alrighty, any questions or discussion? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I hereby find the respondent Joy Brown slash, is that one, slash Maxwell, Vivian M. Brown, Tia Watson, and Richard Thomas for the property of 425 Maple Street to be in non-compliance in the order of respondent to come into compliance by 11/5, next cutoff date, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 a day.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Callis, second by Ms. Roby. In the case of CEB 1025-178, Joy Brown, Maxwell, Vivian M. Brown, Tia Watson, and Richard Thomas at 425 Maple Street, to be found in non-compliance and possibly face a fine at our next meeting, which will be 11/5. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I think we have Mr. Tani. Case number 20. CEB 10-25-174, Delina L. Talley at 155 North Landvale Avenue. Is anybody present? No. Yes, ma'am.
Supposed to be on Zoom.
Yeah, is she on
Oh,
Zoom?
Zoom?
There now.
Okay.
Well, I don't have Zoom on that one.
I didn't either.
I didn't have either.
Yeah, we don't have Zoom on that.
Mm-mm.
Well, are they there?
Oh, she's not here, so.
Okay, this case was opened June 5th, 2025. A complaint generated case for overgrown landscaping, peeling paint, dirt and grime, sanitation, standing water, damaged fence, and wiring. First notice was received June 26, 2025. Compliance was due July 26, 2025. Last inspection was August 18th, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. There has been contact with the owner. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Okay, any questions or discussion? No? Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I hereby order the previous, oh, wait a minute, compliant. I hereby find the respondent, Delina L. Talley, in case number CEB 10-2-5-174, for the property at 155 North Landville Avenue to be in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by 11/5/25, which is the next cutoff date, or be returned to a hearing before the Code Enforcement Board on 11/13/25 for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Roby, second by Ms. Marsh. In the case of CEB 10-25-174, Delana L. Talley at 155 Landville Avenue, to be found in non-compliance and fine up to come into compliance by our next meeting or face a fine of up to $1,000 a day. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Butler. This is the case of CB 10, number 21, 10-25-176, Dominique Lynch, Taylor Varner, Krista Varner, and Doug Varner at 1005 Lewis Drive.
Will you state your name for the record and your association with the case?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. My name is Taylor Varner. I'm one of the owners of the property.
Okay. Will you raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Butler.
Okay, as it pertains to 101005 Lewis, this is a field-generated case. A site inspection was conducted on July the 31st, 2025. The property was cited for overgrown landscaping, parking, and junk vehicle. The property was notified on August the 8th, 2025. The property was to be in compliance on September the 8th, 2025. Last date of my reinspection was October the 8th, 2025. The result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had no contact. Well, I had contact with the property owner. Staff requests non-compliance, compliance by next cutoff.
Yes, sir.
All right. So initially, the first photo there, that Jeep was a friend of ours, and I was working on it to get it fixed up. But the day that we got the notice, I had another friend who had a trailer take that car out of there and bring it to the owners, wherever the owner wanted to bring it. I don't know where that was. Outside of that, then we just tried our best to maintain the yard. I do keep my truck right there in the yard because that's where in sight of my camera, and I like to have it there since it's pretty easy to break into. It's an older truck. But outside of that, it's basically been our situation.
Okay, any questions, discussion?
So that's not a paved area for the truck, correct? That's on your
No.
ground? Okay, you cannot park on the lawn.
Understood.
So you're either gonna have to get a better camera facing out towards the street or put both of them in your driveway but you can't park on the grass.
Understood. And may I ask, Because I was parking it next to the mailbox in that little grass area. Is that like no?
Well, then the post office is gonna have a problem with you unless you're gone when the post office goes by, because they will not get out of their vehicle to deliver.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're at work when your postmaster comes by, your post office guy comes by, you'll be all right.
Yes,
But
sir.
you can park there.
Okay. Understood.
Just if you're sick, the postman's not gonna put your mail in your box.
Understood.
But it appears you have parkage. Is that parkage enough? Is that adequate in front of the grass if you go down from the post office?
Not for the truck and the car both, because the truck does have a longer bed on it. It will stick out like.
No, the parkage is along the front of the house. See the gray
Oh,
area?
the gray area, yeah.
Yeah.
So the truck is a little bit wider than that, and that's what
Okay.
I'm meaning is if I have like part of the truck on that
Okay.
grass, is that okay?
Okay.
Well, the thing is that the truck has to be moved.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. I can
Is
get
that
it.
the only outstanding item? Is the
That's all
parking
that's
issue?
left.
Okay. Do we have any recommendations? Like, I think I've seen them dig up the area and put in, what do you call it, mulch or some kind of stone to make it a parking place? So it's not on the grass? Is that an
That won't be
alternative?
allowed. He
No.
actually would have to go to permits and licensing
Oh.
and find out what his options
Oh.
are.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's your other option, is go downstairs.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, we can look at options. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, any more discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. I hereby find the respondent, Dominique Lynch, Taylor Varner, Krista Varner, and Doug Varner in case number CEB 1025176 for the property at 1005 Lewis Drive to be in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by November 5th, 2025, or be returned to a hearing before the Code Enforcement Board on November 13th, 2025, for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day.
I second.
Okay. In the case of CB 1025-176, Dominique Lynch, Taylor Varner, Christy Varner, and Doug Varner at 1005 Lewis Drive. Motion made by Ms. Marsh, second by Ms. Roby, to find the property in non-compliance, to come into compliance by our next cutoff date, or to be fined up to $1,000 a day if not in compliance by our next meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So do you understand what just happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
All right. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Next case is in compliance, CEB 1020-25-179, DeHaven J. Carter at 1417 Florida Street.
I'll let Inspector Butler, he just left.
It's in compliance.
It's in compliance. Okay, Mr. Beanie. Case number 23, CEB 10-25-173, Anthony R. Starnes at 414 S Palmetto Avenue. Anybody present for this case? No. Okay.
Inspector Ron Beanie, my code credentials are on file. This case was opened on June 12, 2025 as a complaint-generated case for outside storage, unmaintained landscaping, damaged handrails, peeling paint, dirt and grime. First notice was posted on June 12, 2025. Compliance was due on July 16, 2025. Last date of reinspection was on October 6, 2025, and the result was non-compliance. I have received no contact from the owner. Staff recommends a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by next cutoff.
Any questions or discussion? If not, do I hear a motion?
I make the motion that we hereby order the previous order of noncompliance in case number 23, CEB 10-25-173, be amended to allow the respondent Anthony Starnes to bring the property into compliance or be returned to a proceeding before the Code Enforcement Board on 11/5 for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day.
Okay.
Ms. Radival, I believe you are doing an amended order of noncompliance.
Okay.
And I believe under these facts, it would generally be a finding of noncompliance, because there's not been a finding of noncompliance yet by
Correct.
this board.
Okay. All right, then I amend the motion to hereby, so you want the compliance determination?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I amend the motion to
No,
hereby.
you discard the motion and start with a new one.
Okay,
And it's for non-compliance.
Then this will be a noncompliance
okay.
determination.
So you would start with non-compliance.
The top
Then you
one.
find it
Yes.
non-compliant.
I withdraw my motion, previous
Okay,
motion.
I withdraw the motion. And I hereby find the respondent, Anthony Starnes, in case number CEB 1025-173, for the property at 414 South Palmetto Avenue, to be in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by 11/5 or be returned for a hearing before the Code Enforcement Board on 11/13 for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day.
Okay, so,
The cutoff date's 11/5, and the hearing
Right.
date
It's
That's the
11/13.
is 11/13.
That's what I said.
right, that's, yeah. Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second? Ms. Marsh, second. Okay, in the case of CEB 10-25-173, Anthony R. Starnes at 414 South Palmetto Avenue, we have a motion made by Ms. Rodenbaugh. Radabaugh. Sorry. I'll get it. And second by Ms. Marsh, to be found in non-compliance, to return to our next meeting on 11/13, and for a fine to possibly start of $1,000 a day when found in non-compliance again. Is that
Thank
right?
you.
Okay. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and I think that's it.
I have a question on case number 21.
Yes.
This was first notified in 1st of August, August the 8th, and he has this car that he's been parking in the yard, and after 2 months, he still doesn't get that. He has to park it correctly. I mean, why do we drag this out another month? What's up with that? I mean,
So I can speak to
it's
that
not like
legally.
it's work for him to do, or he has
So-
to contact somebody.
Legally, we can't find someone on the first hearing, and we have to have a hearing before we can do that. So I get where you're coming from, but we have to wait till the next hearing. And on that note, I have a couple items of business for the board opening the door. First, I apologize for not setting up and following up with staff and your attorney for training. As you guys are aware, a big change happened in the law with open carry, which has consumed all of my time. So that and the new immigration thing with the task force. So I'm gonna be free soon, and I'm gonna get in touch with staff and your attorney to schedule that training. 1, 2, I just have advice for your attorney and for the board. My advice is that we don't give respondents, that the board doesn't give advice to respondents on what they need to do to come in compliance, that when they ask a question, is this okay? Have them, tell them, ask your code enforcement officer, he can advise you on that. 2, when someone gets advice, my advice is when someone's being sworn in, we swear them in, and after they've been sworn, then we ask what their relationship is, so we have that on record. If they say it before they're sworn, we can't hold them, accountable for that. And then 3, do you guys have any questions on open carry?
Yeah.
In a commission meeting. I mean, not commission, in a code meeting.
It's not
I addressed it,
Yeah.
I addressed it with your attorney, but I just wanted to make sure that the
It
board was,
can't come into a government building,
Right.
correct?
it can,
Yeah,
so, if you guys have a
They
second,
can?
I
Really?
can walk
'Cause
it
I have
through.
a- I have a concealed license, and it says that I can't carry.
So,
Open
If the
you can,
board
yeah?
wants, I
Oh,
can share
cool.
the open carry bulletin that I did for the police department. But basically, their open carry was prohibited as of 1987. In the early 2000s, the Florida Supreme Court upheld that statute as constitutional. They used the test called intermediate scrutiny, which means that to pass intermediate scrutiny, you have to have an important government interest. It has to be the least restrictive means possible, and other stuff. I won't bore you with the details. The court in that case in Norman looked at the history, looked at everything, and thought that the statute was constitutional. Then the U.S. Supreme Court in Bruin established a new test on how to review Second Amendment regulations. The test basically was we have to look at a history of that regulation. If there's not some history of that regulation, you can't do it. I'm not going to get into the politics of whether the first DCA and McDaniels did correctly or not. The point is the AG in that case, the state lost and said they're not going to appeal. The AG issued a ruling in the first DCA. Sorry, let me tell you what that court said. The court basically reviewed someone properly holstering a handgun. This case was not about a firearm, a long gun, a rifle, an AK-47. It was about a handgun holstered in a proper retention holster. He had it outside of his shirt on a tripod recording. This was something he was testing. The court in that situation looked at those facts and reviewed and used the test in the new U.S. Supreme Court case to say that this statute's unconstitutional. The whole state is split. No one really agrees. There's less than 5% of the state, a couple jurisdictions, believe that the Florida Supreme Court case is binding because the lower court can't overrule it. The first DCA didn't certify a question to the Supreme Court asking them to decide. Arguments are on whether they should or shouldn't have done that. Regardless, that DCA case in the first district said that it's unconstitutional, and the AG said that it's the law of the land. We are all bound by it. We're going to agree with what the AG said. In Daytona, I have advised our officers that we cannot prohibit open carry anywhere, but there are location sensitive areas that we can. If you guys want, the statute is 790-06 subsection 2. That statute, the AG has said, was unaffected by this case. That statute says that there's 15 sensitive areas that by law you can't open or concealed carry a firearm. There's debate. 40%, about half the state, well, let's say 5% are still prohibiting open carry everywhere. 45% of the state thinks that the AG is wrong and you can't use that statute in open carry. It's only for it creates a loophole for long guns. You could only prohibit open carry of handguns. It's a mess. That's what they believe. That's what the Volusia County Sheriff believes. They're allowing it everywhere. They're in the process of taking down their metal detectors in their commission and situations. We believe what 50% of the state believes and what the AG believes. The AG believes that you can prohibit it in those sensitive areas under that statute. Those areas do not include City Hall. They include City Hall only when there's a meeting of the governing body, this commission, or a special district such as CRA or the Development Authority. I don't like it. I don't like this isn't protected. And I get the concerns. I wanted to address it with you to make sure you were comfortable. I have advised our officers on different things that we can do. For example, you can't improperly exhibit a gun, meaning you can't do rude display, you can't have careless display, you can't have angry display, or threatening. If someone comes in here with a gun that meets any of the qualifications, our officer here that is providing security will escort that person out, make the arrest, direct file. They're trained on how to handle that. However, if someone comes in here with 18 AK-47 strapped to their back and isn't angry, threatening, rude, careless, angry, threatening, and I could go over what those mean with you depending on how much time you have, but if they're not, if they're just peacefully sitting here and it's secure, it's not anything, I'm in the process of doing research, and I'm going to get in touch with your attorney on whether we can trespass them from a public hearing. My instinct right now today is no, we can't. So in that situation, if that happens and the board does not feel comfortable, I advise that it's in your discretion to end the meeting, continue it for another time, set it via Zoom, whatever you feel comfortable with. You guys don't have to continue it.
Well, I think we should finish the discussion, not to prolong it, but to at least get our feelings out about the issue so that you are aware,
Okay.
you know.
I have
one-
time, that's why I wanted to
one
bring
of
this
the-
to your attention.
If something would be put in the notice to the respondents, notifying them if you plan on open carry, or it is advised that you do not attend the meeting.
So unfortunately, we can't do that because there's a statute that the legislator implemented that preempts us from making any law, rule, policy, procedure, practice that would in any way infringe on the Second Amendment. So that could be seen as us, yeah,
But
so.
you mentioned that there's special areas, like, people usually don't come in here angry, they get angry during, you know,
Yeah,
we start
for-
levying fines and stuff.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
uncomfortable with. We have to, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to wait until something bad happens for us to
Right.
act. And I guess my advice, I know it's kind of a cop-out, but we have to lobby our legislator to include this as a protected area. I don't, you know, before they never had to consider it because open carry was prohibited everywhere. But it's really up to whether they're going to make that policy. They're not protected either, right? They're only protected when they're in session. So I have hope that maybe something will happen. There are different attorneys, cities that have told them they know of the issue, they're aware. And I'm also concerned about schools and banks. So there is, something has to happen. They already said they're not going to do a glitch bill, so we have to wait till they come in session. I believe it's next year in February. But right now, that's where we are. If you guys, do you have
So
anything
what
else?
are the special?
Special exceptions?
Yeah.
Can I, is there a way to pull up the statute on, well, I can send you all, I can send your attorney the bulletin and he can send it to you all. The exceptions are the police lobby, I don't know all 15 by heart, police lobby, school campuses, but I want to give you a caveat with schools. Schools are only protected on property. Someone now today could walk with a rifle up and down the sidewalk of the school. We're in the process of handling that situation, but right now, we can't stop them unless they're rude, careless, you know, those big lists of things. So it's the police lobby, school property, including colleges, anywhere where they sell alcohol is the prime. So let's say you go to Chili's. The whole Chili's isn't prohibited, but the bar area of Chili's is. But if you go to one of, what's a place that sells food, but it's like a pub? Like those, all of that, because it's a pub, they sell alcohol. That's their primary thing, and they sell food just as a secondary thing. You can't have guns there. Now I want to stress that this is something where the state is split. For example, our sheriff won't prohibit it in those areas, but our police and the Daytona Beach Police Department are instructed to prohibit it in those areas. So at the very least, my hope is the legislator will address these sensitive areas so that there isn't this split throughout the state, and so that our citizens can go confidently everywhere and know that it's going to apply it the same to them. So,
Changing the subject briefly.
Yes.
The workshop. Are you going to do a survey form to us, for us to tell you what we need in the workshop? Or you just going to do it up yourself?
I didn't want to. I would prefer if I can share the bulletin with your council. You guys can review it, and when we do the training, we could do it there. It's not that I don't want to go into it here. That yesterday, when I did training, it took hours long. It's a very complicated issue, and that way you guys can sit on it and put all your questions together, and we can address it there, rather than if that's okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
One thing I'd like to know, I know that the city did, I was involved in it a couple years ago down in the training room because there's a lot of other things besides just code board issues. There's government in the sunshine, there's public records laws, there's all of those things. Are you going to try to include all of that stuff in there, or at least make aware the board members aware? Certain things.
I'll provide guidance on that, and then
Okay.
we can get together and put something together.
Because I don't know how many.
This is just still really new, so.
I think some of the board members have been involved in that training. I don't know
Yeah,
how many.
I was.
Okay.
That was in the beginning about 5 years ago.
Yeah, I
They used to have a
haven't had a
specific
chance to get
training.
around to that, and I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah. So after this, I'll reach out to you with an email and get it with Denzel whenever you guys want to schedule that. I will need. I still have a couple, like the next 2 weeks tied up and stuff, but maybe next month we can, or whenever the secretary and everyone can schedule something. So that's all I have.
One thing I'd like to also toss out, and that is your comment, because I expect that if somebody comes in wearing a I mean, we should probably have some idea of what the board might want to do. One possibility, as opposed to just canceling everything, is just to continue that case. And say, case continued.
It's in your discretion.
I mean, I don't want to start with everybody then walking in with.
Question would be.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
What? Get over here, my case. When you gonna continue it?
And how
What's
we
gonna
gonna
stop them
wind it
from
down?
coming back again?
I understand that
Just
exactly.
move forward and just have the police aware of what's going on.
It becomes almost a form of coercion
Right,
from
so,
their
yeah.
standpoint.
And I think you are borderline prejudicial at that point too. If he's coming in with a sidearm and because he has that, you want to continue it. I think that may become an issue as well. So I think you just move forward and just have a police officer pay that closer attention, you know, if it's a concern.
One thing also I had briefly mentioned to Ms. Diaz was, I believe it's Idaho. I had some friends out there. They've been dealing with this for a long time. It's been perfectly legal out there for years. I guess because it's kind of more Western type area. And maybe think about some ways that they also have addressed these issues. Because there's the outer country areas, but then there's the urban areas too, and they're not necessarily thinking in the same fashion. And maybe give some thought to how places out west have been dealing with this.
So
issue.
this is new, and it's just everyone's excited about it. So I wanted, eventually maybe it'll die out. I can't say, but you're right. There's other places that do it, and they're fine. But those other places have regulations on them as well. We have nothing. So, even in, don't quote me on this, but even in Texas, you can't walk into a city hall with a long gun. But again, I have to double check, but that's my current understanding. So.
I don't have a gun, but we can carry too, right?
No, employees can't.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So that's our city
That's
policy.
part of the issue.
We do have an officer here, though, who's very well trained, and he has gone through proper training on how to address this.
Because I have a permit, but I can't wear it here. Because
And
it's
if you
the
guys
city.
feel that you want more law enforcement, that's something that you could request. But
Well, I don't think we can tell by somebody just walking in if they have
You
a
will,
gun.
if it's open carry, you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
We can't tell if somebody walks in and they're carrying a gun, what their mindset is. I mean, they're just gonna be walking in looking like a normal person, but they
Yeah.
may have ulterior motives. And we're not gonna be able to tell if they have anger management problems or
Right.
anything like that.
Right.
And
That's
with
why we
all of
have
the
that.
issues going on, assassinations.
yeah,
Yeah.
Crime is high.
so I will send out that bulletin to you guys, and then we can discuss this further.
Is the city looking to add City Hall as a no open carry?
I can't speak to what they're doing right now. I will tell you that the legislator is aware of that loophole.
Because I always thought government offices you couldn't carry.
The good thing is, with all this uncertainty, I'm hoping that someone won't test it. I can't, So,
I guess we'll see when it comes.
yeah.
Okay, is there anything else, folks? Meeting's adjourned.